So let's talk about Sourdough Starter. So this is my discard. I actually got it off of a friend, and she had been growing it for 1.5 years. And so I have had it now for about 6 months. So it's about 2 years old. And I am going to make Sourdough Starter. So I just take my discard. I've had this in the fridge for a couple days, and I'm going to use this like big jar today because I need more starter than what can fit in this jar. Normally I just use one of these jars if I'm only adding like about a cup of flour, but for what I want to make, I'm going to need more than that this time. And you can use a wooden spoon or a spatula. I just prefer a spatula because I feel like I can get more out of the jar. Okay, so this is just gonna get washed now. When you make starter, you want to use equal parts of discard, flour, and water. So this is my discard. This is what I'm gonna use to make my starter. And I think it looks like about 1.5 cups on here. So I'm gonna actually double that because I want double the amount. You want to give it like a good healthy feeding, and I like it about thick pancake consistency. And you can use different kinds of flour. I know some people like to use like wheat flour. I always make sure it's unbleached, organic, and this one is like a mixture of wheat and malted barley. And I just like to eyeball things, and it just makes it easier for me. I don't like to like measure when it comes to this. So here's 1 cup. You want it to just look like double the amount. And now we're gonna add water. And I add about 1/2 to 2/3 of the amount of water to the amount of flour that I added. So I put in like almost 3 cups of flour, so I'm gonna put in probably at least 2 cups of water. And like I said, normally I just use like a wide mouth mason jar, but this time like I want like way more starter. So I need room for it to grow because it's going to at least double in size, and I don't want it to like overflow, or obviously this wouldn't even fit in the ball mason jar. Okay, so it looks like this is like the perfect amount of water. And when you get like this much in there, it gets like really thick and hard to scrape almost. So just make sure you really incorporate the discard well into the starter. Okay, this is what it looks like for me. I just take the spatula, I scrape everything down off the sides really well. It doesn't really matter because it's going to grow and it's going to make a mess on the sides anyways. Scoop everything off, all the excess off into there. Because it's winter, it will take a little bit longer to grow than when you do it in the summer and it's like a little bit warmer in the house. You can just take a plate or like a glass lid and cover it. You don't want to seal a lid onto your container. I want to get like a glass jar with a glass lid, but I don't have that yet. So, and normally I wouldn't use plastic, but this is just going to sit on lightly. It's not like a lid, and you want it to like breathe. So I don't seal it. I just sit it right on top. Now over the next period of like 6 to 12 hours, this starter is going to rise all the way up to here. It will double, and then I will have a bunch of starter to make sourdough with. You can put it somewhere warmer, like if you have like the oven running or something, you can sit it kind of like next to it. It will help it become active quicker. Or you can just leave it on the counter in a warmer area of the house. Once a period of about 24 hours has gone by, I take it off the counter. So I usually start it like around now. And then tomorrow in the morning, I will be able, because it'll be 12 hours at 5 a.m. So in the late morning, I will be able to start my loaf of sourdough artisan bread. with my fresh starter.